so I guess you can see my screen now. So this is what we are going to learn about. Well, we send you some email. Well, we send you a newsletter and some some messages if you have entered Mobincube this week. This is because next week on Monday we are going to shut our service for like I think it's like 7 hours more or less, or even 9. It's going to be like a big update of Mobincube, and it's going to be really, really big. It's not just like improving some features. I mean, we are going to change our business model totally in a way that it's going to benefit all our users a lot. Okay, so that's what we are going to learn now. Okay, because we don't want any surprise next week. Okay, so let me just start with the current model. Okay, then we will go to the new model. We will explain all the features, all the benefits for you, and then finally we will see how what happens in case you hired some services and how will those services be transformed to the new model. Okay? So for starting, well, I guess you already know Mobincube, how it works, and I guess you had some misunderstandings at the beginning because our information was a bit messy. I mean, we had different services, like maybe 10 different services, and then we launched the discount packs, the home plan and the pro plan. Then you had to pay for downloading APK files. I mean, it was really messy and it was expensive sometimes. Okay, because well, you had to hire in case you wanted, for example, to remove advertising in one of your apps. You had to hire the remove ad service for each single app that you wanted to build with Mobincube. Okay, so yeah, sometimes it was a bit expensive. I mean, if we compare with our competitors, we can be really confident to say that Mobincube was probably the most cheap app builder in the market. I don't really like to use the word cheap because it sounds like bad, but well, Mobincube was the most powerful and the most flexible tool, and at the same time, it was the most inexpensive service. Okay, but the thing is that being being cheaper than our competitors doesn't mean that it was a affordable software. Okay, so for example, if we compare with Microsoft Office or with Adobe Photoshop or things like that, I mean, with those tools, you can create like unlimited projects. For example, with Word or with PowerPoint, you can create your unlimited presentations, and you don't pay more for each presentation that you want to create, right? Or if you are like a Dreamweaver user, I mean, you don't pay more if you want to create like different websites. Okay, so our model was a bit old-fashioned. Okay, so therefore we were planning to be more trendy and start doing what other types of softwares were doing on the market. Okay, like Microsoft 365 or Adobe or well, lots of softwares that are offered now as a service. Okay, so now we are moving to a subscription model in Mobincube. Okay, so you will be able to create unlimited apps just paying a monthly fee. Okay, so and you'll say that this is going to be a great thing. Okay, because we are going to keep our free version. Okay, and well, in fact, this is going to be a really free version. Okay, because you know that well, in the current version or in the previous version of Mobincube, there was a lot of people complaining that we were saying that Mobincube was free, but then they had to pay $1 when they wanted to publish one app in Google Play, for example. Okay, well, we always said that Mobincube was free for creating an app and publish in our server. Okay, with unlimited downloads. Okay, so it was really free, but then people complain about paying $1 for downloading the APK file in order to publish in Google Play. So now with our new free model, this is going to be free as well. I mean, if you start with the free model, then you won't have to pay even that $1 for the APK. So this is going to be a really free plan. Okay, so well, basically, let me go through the plan. This is what you are going to expect from next Monday. Okay, we've changed our interface. You see this screen here, the My Apps, where you have the list of all your apps. Now there's more information on this screen. Okay, each screen has this box, and there are some options. Then you can see just in a shot if your app was already published, or what version of your app was published, or if your app is still not published, or now you can see here two things, which is regarding the disk space that this app is consuming. Now I will explain about that. Okay, so and then also you can like access. You select one of your apps, you can access the info tab or the edit tab, the demo tab, or the publish or the tools tab just directly from the main menu here. Okay, so the big change is not this. The big change is this, the monthly payments. Okay, so well, in the past, when you wanted to, for example, if you wanted to hire the pro plan, then you had to pay like $250 per year per app. Okay, so it was yeah. So if you wanted to have an app for 5 years, you could end paying like more than 1,000 bucks. Okay, so and there was no monthly payment option. Okay, so from now we are going to change to a subscription-based model that will allow to use Mobincube. And using Mobincube, you will be able to create unlimited apps with your plan. Okay, so there is no limitation on the apps you can make. And well, each one of these pricing plans will have some limitations. So the more you pay every month, the more extra services you will have. Okay, let me give you an example. For example, we have the starter plan, we have the home plan, we have the standard plan, we have the freelancer plan, and the agency plan. Okay, so the starter plan is for those people who want to keep playing Mobincube for free. Okay, so you can keep always doing apps for free, and well, you can do unlimited apps. Okay, but the thing is that there's a limitation on the disk space that you can use in our server. Okay, for example, if you create an app and you add some pictures to your app, so the total weight of your app is like 1 megabyte. Okay, then you will be able to create 4 more apps like that one. Okay, because in the starter plan you have a 5 megabyte limitation, so it's a really good plan for those people who want to start creating an app with Mobincube and starting just testing or just realizing that they can make money with advertisements and things like that. Okay, so well, in case you can keep free, you will have several options. I mean, you can create, for example, imagine that you create an app and it's like 4 megabytes, so you don't have a lot of space for another app. You have 2 options or 3 options. First, you can remove your first app, and if you already published your app, it will be live yet, so it will keep working. Okay, so removing an app from Mobincube, it's not a limitation. I mean, your app, if published, will be still published. Okay, so you can remove that app and you can like create another one. So, and you can do that all the time. Okay, so yeah, that's only in the case that you are like creating simple apps and you don't want to update those apps in the future. So if you don't need to update that app, you can just remove it, so you will have more space. Okay, well, there's another option that if in case you are like reaching the limit on the disk space, then you can create an extra Mobincube account. Okay, so you can keep for free in that other account. Okay, you won't be able to copy one app from one account to another. That's the only problem. Okay, but well, as you see, there are some cheap plans that can help you creating your apps. Okay, even in the starter plan for free, you will be able to try the push notification service. So that wasn't in the past in the free model. Okay, now you can use push notifications. Okay, but well, the more you pay every month, I mean, if you upgrade to a higher plan, then you will have more disk space. for creating more apps, or not for creating, because you can create unlimited apps, but for storing those apps in our server. Okay, and also your push credit every month will be higher. Okay, so the more you pay in your plan, the more push deliveries you have, and the more disk space. And also every plan will unlock some premium services. Okay, but those services will apply for all your apps in your account. Okay, for example, if you go to the home plan, it's just like €3 or $3. It depends on your country. Okay, so it will be in the United States, or in South America and Central America. It will be $3. Okay, amount, and then you will get more space. You will get like 10 more times push notifications, and you will be able to remove the Mobincube splash screen at the start of your app. Okay, so, and this service, removing the Mobincube intro, will be included in all your apps. Okay, so you can create unlimited apps without the Mobincube intro. Okay, so if you go to the standard plan, then you will be able to remove advertisements. I mean, you will get more disk space, you will get more push notifications, and you will have the option for removing advertisements from your app. Okay, for all your apps in your account. I mean, you don't pay more if you have more apps. I mean, it's only like almost $10, and you can get rid of advertising in all your apps. Okay, so this is where it becomes cheaper, much cheaper than before. Okay, but because remember, in our current version, if you pay, you have to pay. If you want, for example, if you own a restaurant, for example, and you want an app for your restaurant, you have to pay like $250 per year. Okay, so now with the new system, you just need to pay like $9.99 per month, and you will be able to remove advertisements. So it's, well, every plan has a monthly payment, but of course you can like prepaid in advance for the full year, and then you will get 2 months for free. So you can just consider that. Okay, so yeah, imagine that now you have a restaurant or a shop, and you create your app without advertisement, but at the same price, you can even create more apps. For example, if you create an event in your shop, then you can create a new app for that event in your account. Okay, so you won't pay like $250 per year. I mean, it's only $9.99, unlimited apps, more push notifications, and without advertisements. Sorry. So we also have 2 extra plans that they are more for those who are creating apps for their customers. For example, for web developers who also use Mobincube for creating apps for their customers. Then they have this freelancer and the agency plan. Okay, of course, with this plan you can like host more applications in our server. You have more disk space. I mean, it's much more disk space, and you have much more push notifications. But also you will be able to, well, the cloud was also included in the standard. Okay, so you are going to use the cloud, and well, now you can, if you know the cloud, you can create sub accounts in the cloud, so that you can like set an access for your customers, so they can only edit resources from their app. Okay, so that option for creating sub accounts won't be available in the standard plan. Now it's available, but in some weeks it won't be available anymore. So if you want to create sub accounts for your customers in the cloud, then you will have to go to the freelancer plan. Okay, and then in case you want to use private brand, so I mean in the cloud sub account that you send to your customer, in case you want to include your logo or the logo of your company, you will need to upgrade to the agency plan. You will get more disk space, and you will get more push notifications, and also you will be able, not now, but maybe in some weeks, you will be able to manage the push credit that you send to all of your customers, so that you can like set limitations for your customers and say, hey, this customer, I don't want him to send more than 10,000 push notifications per month. Then this you will be able to do it. Okay, so imagine that you are in the agency plan and you want to keep hosting all your apps for, well, this is more yeah, for the freelancers or the companies creating apps for customers, because normally they prefer to host their apps in our server, because yeah, nobody knows if your customer after 6 months is going to take the phone, call you and say, hey, I want to update my app, do it. So if you remove from our server, then you will have to create the app again. So I guess you will prefer to host the app in our server. Okay. So in case you reach the limit, then you will have the option to get more disk space packages. So it will be like $50 plus per month, and you will get 2050 megabytes extra. And it's the same for the push notifications. I mean, if you need a higher limit, you can also pay. Okay, now that's not available from this interface. You will have to email us and ask for that. Okay, and there's also one difference. Well, as I told you, all the plans include unlimited apps, and you can get the APK file and the IPA file for iOS. You will also be able to download the XIP file for Windows Phone. I mean, you won't need to pay an extra dollar as before. I mean, it will be included in your plan, so don't worry about that. But the thing is that, well, in case you want us to publish your iOS app in our Apple developer account, because you don't have any Apple developer account, then we will ask for the same fee as before. It's like, I think it's $9.99 per upload. Okay, so in case you want us to submit the app to our account, we will ask you to keep that fee. Okay, and we don't like to do that, but I mean, submitting your app to the Apple Store is like a bit of a pain for us, because it's a lot of human work. So we need to cover costs. Okay, and of course we always you are always welcome to create your own Apple developer account, and it's highly recommended, because then that way you can manage all your apps and you can access your stats and everything. So it's much better if you publish in your account. Okay, and well, basically this is the model. Okay, this is what we are going to do from next week, and this is going to be really good for the users. We really believe that, because now you are going to be able to do more things for less. Okay, so it's going to be much cheaper. I mean, this is going to be like a more trendy model. Okay, so we hope that you like this model. It's going to be much flexible for you, and also much easier to understand. Okay, because our previous model was really difficult for a lot of people to understand. There were a lot of different services, a lot of possible combinations. So this one here is going to be really simple. I mean, you just need to imagine what do you need to do with Mobincube, then decide one plan and just take that plan. Okay, and for taking one plan, it's going to be also really easy. I mean, here you have the list. Remember, let me go back and repeat. I can see. You can see my screen. The other people watching. Are you guys watching my screen? Okay. 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 Then I guess Nat's computer is a bit lazy today. So okay. In the meantime, I was going to explain. Yeah. How did I enter? I mean, I just click here and upgrade my account, and I enter the previous screen. Okay. So let's go on again to this spot here. Now you have these two icons, and well, this is for measuring the space that this app is consuming in your disk space. Okay. So for example, if I just move over this icon, I see that this app is consuming like almost 200 kilobytes. And yeah, that's it. That's in the disk space in Mobincube for the offline resources. Right? I also have this icon, which is a cloud. this means that there's this space that I'm using in the cloud, okay? Because it really doesn't matter if you upload a picture in your app in Mobincube or if you upload it in the cloud, okay? I mean, everything counts. You have, for example, 100 megabytes, so you can upload pictures in the cloud or in your app. I mean, everything counts. Okay, let's just try that. Okay, for example, you see here this app. I have 188 kilobytes. I'm just going to edit and I'm going to upload a new picture. Oh, this is going a bit slow. It's my internet connection. I'm sorry for that. Okay, so let's open the image manager and just let's upload a picture from Google. For example, this one. I'm just uploading it to my app. So now it's in offline mode. Okay, so now I can go back and voila. You see, now my picture made my disk space smaller. I mean, not smaller, but I mean my disk consumption higher. So now it's 215. Okay, also if you press in your username here, you see now this is different. You see here the total space that all your apps are consuming. Okay, so now in this plan I have 5 megabytes and just 4%. Okay, so I can keep creating more and more apps. Okay, well, in case you need to upgrade, you can go up here or you can just click here. If you see that you are reaching the limit, you can just go to upgrade accounts and you will access this screen. So now you just need to select your plan. For example, imagine that I want the home plan. Well, now we are promoting the standard plan, so you can just try it for free. I think it's for 15 days or maybe. So you can just go and try and then decide if you want to keep it. Okay, so let me go to the home, for example. Now we are stopping using PayPal for payments because, well, PayPal had some issues for the monthly subscriptions. So now we are moving to Stripe.com. I'm not sure if you know that one. So, well, I mean, you don't even need to have an account in Stripe.com, I think. I mean, you just need to enter your credit card number, your data, and well, if you're a company and you need an invoice, just click here, enter your data. And basically, well, you can select if you want to pay monthly or if you want to pay annually. Okay, so you see that you're saving 2 months. Okay, so you just upgrade and then every month Stripe.com will take from your credit card the amount you selected. Okay, and you can, I mean, since it's a monthly subscription, I mean, every month you can just upgrade to a bigger plan, or you can even downgrade. Okay, for example, if you are using the freelancer plan, for example, and you see that you don't really need so much this space, or you don't even need to create some accounts for your customers, you can just go to the pro plan. I mean, no, sorry, for the standard plan, and you just downgrade, so you will start paying less every month. Okay, so you can do that whenever you want. And I think if you do it in the middle of the month, then Stripe.com automatically will adjust everything. Okay, it's quite fair. That's why we selected that platform for the payments. Okay, yeah. So basically, this is it. This is the new model. I hope you like it. And now let me explain the last thing. Let me explain what happens to you in case you already hired some services. Okay. Okay. So just give me 10 seconds. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry for that. I have some things here. Okay, so what happens if you paid one service already? I mean, you are not going to lose it. I mean, when you pay that service, for example, imagine that you paid one Pro app like 2 months ago. So it's going, well, when you hire that, you were expecting to have like an app without ads for 1 year. So I guess you expect that app to be online, I mean, to be without advertisement until May of 2015. Okay, so you are going to keep that and you are going to be able to do more things. You won't need to pay anything until May 2015. Okay, so we are going to do an automatic migration. Okay, so from your old plan to the new plans. Okay, so you won't be redirected to some of these plans. I mean, we will create a custom plan for you, for each one of you, with some properties. I mean, we will try to make those custom plans similar to the ones I explained. Okay, so I'm going to show you how we are going to do the translation. Okay, here you have our custom plans. Well, we will start with 5 custom plans for those people who had things in the past. Okay, so you will have one of these 5 plans, and they will be available until 12 months after the last service you hired. Okay, this is really important. For example, imagine that you created like 2 different apps, one in January and one in May. Okay, so we will look which is your most appropriate custom plan, and we will keep that plan for May of next year. Okay, so you even get more for your first app. I mean, your first app from January was expected to end in January 2015, but even your first app will be with that service included to May. Okay, so this going you are going to earn more benefits with that. Okay, so let's see. For example, let's give some examples. Okay, imagine that you hired a Pro app. Okay, so when you hide that app, it's because you didn't want any ads in your app, you didn't want the Mobincube intro, and you wanted to use the cloud. Okay, you also wanted to use push notifications or things like that. Okay, so if you check the plan number 4, this is what it has. So it's probably the most appropriate for you. Okay, and you will have 150 megabytes. I mean, if you only had one app, I'm really sure you're not going to use that such amount of this space. Okay, maybe you are using only 5 megabytes or 10 megabytes, so you have plenty of extra disk space for you. So you can create until May next year. You will be able, I mean, not May, I mean, it depends on when you hide your app. I mean, but you will have a lot of disk space for you, so you will be able to create more apps, and you will be even able to remove advertisement for your new apps that you create this year until your custom plan ends. Okay, so this is going to be really cool for you. If you only paid for one app, now you will have all your apps included for 1 year, and you won't need to pay anything else in Mobincube. Okay, so imagine that you hired the home plan. I mean, you wanted an app with advertisement, but you wanted to use push notifications, use the cloud, remove Mobincube intro. Then you will have the plan number 2. So also, you only created one app, you are going to be able to create like maybe 5, 10 more apps with the same services included for free. I mean, not for free, you paid for them, but you don't need to pay anymore. So you are going to have all that. Okay. And what happens if we set you in one of these custom plans, but your apps were really big, so the disk space is higher than the limit on your new custom plan? Okay, so that's okay. I mean, you can still use Mobincube in the same place, and we will even give you some extra 10% of this space. For example, if you are in the plan number 4, imagine that you are using 200 megabytes. Okay, then we will give you some extra 20 megabytes for you, so that you can even create like maybe 4, 5, 6 apps, depending on how big your apps are. And those new apps will be also pro. I mean, you will be able to remove advertisement. Okay. So, well, this is what we are going to do automatically. I mean, we are going to try to benefit you. I mean, to give you more than what you hide. Okay. But since this is going to be automatically, and we know that some users won't be happy because maybe they prefer to change to another plan because they want, maybe they are going to this plan number 2, but they prefer to use the standard plan without advertisement. So yeah, let's send us an email and tell us about your case, and we will try to figure out how to benefit you. Okay, so we know next week we are going to be attending a lot of users that want to change plans and things like that. So yes, send us an email and we will try to help you. Okay, we are always here to help. So you're welcome to send us an email next week, and yeah, we can do it. Okay. Okay, so well, basically this is what I wanted to tell you today about the plans, and I have some news for you as well. So I think one of them is going to be really interesting for Andre. Okay, here, because, well, you know that Mobincube now is available in English and Spanish languages. So from our update next week, from Monday, Mobincube will be also available in Portuguese. Okay, so yeah, Andre, you will have Mobincube in Portuguese in case you prefer that. Okay, so well, another great feature next week. I mean, we've been a lot of time telling you that the Windows Phone version was almost available. I mean, it was available. I mean, it was not available in the Mobincube interface, so you couldn't download the XAP file. But in case you wanted, you needed to send us an email, and we needed to compile your version and check that everything was right. Okay, but well, not now, but next Monday, the Windows Phone version will be also available for download in Mobincube. Okay, so you will be able to just go to the Publish tab and then select Windows Phone, and you will be able to download your XIP file for publishing in your Windows Phone account. Okay, so yeah, that's the other great feature for next week. And well, basically, this is what we wanted to tell you in this webinar today. So yeah, we can stay here in case you have more questions or worries about your current plans and anything. So just ask questions and I will stay here. What are the advantages of having a private brand? Okay, so the private brand is normally it's for people or for companies that want to create apps for their customers. I mean, we have users that they just want to create their own app. For example, if they have a restaurant and they want to have an app for the restaurant, so they don't really need the private brand. But imagine that you are a development company or a marketing agency or a web design agency, and you have some customers and you normally create, for example, websites for them, and now you want to also like increase your revenue or increase your portfolio of services. Now you can become a mobile app developer if you use Mobincube. So you can just get your plan in Mobincube and start creating apps, and those apps you can like sell them to your customers. For example, your customer can be a restaurant, and imagine that, well, the restaurant wants to edit the daily menu in the app. Okay, so you can create an account in the cloud and give that account to the restaurant, but you don't want the restaurant to realize that you are using Mobincube. So you can just set an cloud access for your restaurant customer, and then use your logo in the cloud. Okay, so that's a private plan, and you will be able to change, I think, the URL for the app, things like that. Yeah, that's basically this is it. Okay, so any more questions? I think I explained everything. I'm not sure if Daniel or Andrea realized that I forgot something. Yeah, you pay 99 in case you want the agency plan. I mean, if you are going, you have a lot of customers and you want to create a lot of apps for your customers, and then you should go to the 999. Sorry. Okay, only if you want to use a private brand and you want to handle the push credit for your customers. This is, well, this is not available yet. It will be like in 1 week or more weeks. So sorry, that's not unlimited then. Yeah, Nas, I was telling you, it's unlimited. I mean, well, normally with 250 megabytes, you can create maybe 100 apps, because normally pro apps are not that as big. Okay, so 100, but of course you can just remove some of them and they will be still live in Google Play. I mean, if you remove one app from Mobincube, you are not removing that app from Google Play. Okay, so your published app will be still live. Okay, so you can just remove it from Mobincube and then you will have more space for other apps. Okay, so yeah, it's unlimited. I mean, it's like, for example, with Microsoft Word, I mean, you can create unlimited Word documents for free. I mean, not for free, you pay for the software. But in case you use Dropbox to host all your documents, then there will be a moment where you will have to pay Dropbox for more disk space, right? So yes, from Monday, yeah, if we don't have any like big issue, it should be available on Monday. So we're starting the update at 9 in the morning in European time, and we will do some work until 5 p.m. in Spanish time. So for people maybe in America, yeah, maybe when they wake up in the morning, maybe Mobincube is already with a new system, so you don't really have to worry about that. The only thing is that if you were planning to use Mobincube in Europe during the day hours, maybe you should consider like going to the beach or go shopping, things like that. Well, I was answering a question from Shitira. I think she wrote in the chat privately, so she was asking about when will it be closed on Monday or when it will be available. Let me check if I missed some questions. Okay. Okay. Yeah, okay. I didn't miss any question. I have two further questions regarding the CMS. Well, CMS, I guess you mean the cloud. Well, now we call it cloud. To create databases. Yes, you can create databases in the cloud. I mean, you should like create them first in Mobincube and then select for that database, select the move to cloud option. Okay, so it goes online and then you can like keep updating everything online. Geofencing facility, geofencing. I'm not sure if I understand the fencing part. Maybe Andrea can help me with that. I mean, with our databases, you can create like you define all the the columns in your database or all the fields. And you can, you can set a field type using a GPS location. Okay, so yeah, you can create a databases with restaurants and you can set a GPS location for each one of them. And then you can show all the restaurants in a Google map. Yeah, you can do that. I mean, you can set an order. You can order all the items in the database. I mean, from closer to nearest place. I think, okay, set a limit. I mean, so not showing restaurants farther than 200 meters. Yeah, I think you can set a filter. I'm not sure about that. Maybe Daniel. Okay, you are answering. I thought the filters allowed you to do that. I'm not sure about the last message. Which one is that? Notifications in a geographic area. Is asking Carlos Castillo is asking about if it's possible to send notifications only in one country or in one region. Okay, well, not at the moment. This is not available. I mean, our push delivery system is quite simple. I mean, it's just writing a message and just push it to all your users. But that's something we will work on it, and we want to improve our push notification service so that you can like create different groups of users and things like that. And with low levels. Okay, Carlos. I'm not sure if I understand what you mean with that, Carlos. I mean, well, with the agency plan, for example, I mean, you will have to activate all the services that you want to use. I mean, for example, if you create a new app, you are in the agency plan and you create a new app, and then that app, you will have the option to remove advertisement, but you will need to activate the service. I mean, you won't pay anything for that. I mean, that's included in your plan, but you need to configure your app and say, well, I want this service, this other one. Okay. So for example, if you are in the standard plan, you have the option to remove advertisements, but maybe you don't want to remove advertisement in all your apps because maybe you want the app for your store without advertisement, but then maybe you want to create also apps for making money with advertisement, so you can just not activating the remove advertisement option in those other apps. Well, it's manually. I mean, it's just clicking a button. I mean, it's simple. I mean, okay, Carlos is asking if he has to do it manually in every app. Yeah, but yes, it's really simple. I mean, let me show you. Let me share my screen again. Well, for example, if I'm in this app, well, now in this account, I'm in the free version. I'm not sure if I will be able to see a list. For example, in the free version, I think I don't have any services available. But normally, yeah, well, I have, push notifications are monetized. They are activated by default. But in case you are in the home plan or in the agency plan, you will see for your app, you will get a list of all your services and you just need to like click to activate. I mean, it's not like a big deal, you know. Okay, Carlos is asking. Carlos, maybe you should ask in the public so you don't need to repeat all your questions. But, well, Carlos is asking if all the apps below a single account. Not only that's not true. Okay, not the disk space. I mean, since you are creating the app, well, Carlos is asking if he can manage how much disk space he wants to use for each single app. Okay, so I mean, set limits for his customers, for example. So from the disk space perspective, that's not going to be possible. Maybe if you create sub accounts for Mobincube, I think that's something it should work. Okay, maybe not now, but in some time you will be able to create sub accounts of Mobincube and set space for your sub accounts, something like that. And from the push notifications perspective, this is going to be possible soon. Not sure in maybe 2 weeks or maybe 1 month, but this is going to be possible. Okay, because this is, of course, this is really interesting feature, because imagine that you have like 10 customers and you have like 250,000 notifications per month, and one of your customers wants to send one notification every day, and he has like 10,000 users. So you will get, I mean, you will run out of push notifications really quick. And so one customer will take all the credit for the other customer. So I guess that's something that you want to avoid. So in some weeks, we will launch this feature for the agency plan that will let you manage or set limits for your customers, so that they only have, like, for example, 10,000 push notifications per month. Okay, and you can just decide if you offer like more push notifications for your customer in case they pay you something. I mean, that's up to you, and this will be available soon. Okay, any more questions? Well, I think there are no more questions, or yeah, there's another question from this girl called Andrea. Okay, could you tell me when he's working on a feature that allows the user to use an email address? I'm not sure about that. Yeah, this should be useful, I guess, but not sure if that's on our roadmap. It might be a good idea, a really cool feature. So maybe we can like just get that idea and put that in our roadmap, and we will check if that's easy or hard to develop. Yeah, maybe. Well, there are some other features that we want to launch previous that one. Okay, because in soon you will also be able to add audio files to your app. So this is going to let you make more money if you create, for example, educational apps or things like that. And you will be able also to embed videos in your app. So this is going to be soon, and it's much more important than taking pictures from my point of view, I mean, of course. And then we are working on a really big feature. I'm not sure how much time this is going to take, maybe 1 or 2 months, not sure. That is going to change everything. I mean, from after that feature is launched, we are going to call it logical. I mean, the logical feature. I mean, you will be able to add some logic to your apps, but without coding. Okay, so well, our philosophy is that our users shouldn't code a lot of software. So we are going to let you like add some decisions points in your app, and even like save information from one session to another. So you will be able to create like user and password screens and save the information for future sessions. you will be able to share more information with a server and store their answer from the server for, and depending on the answer, go to one screen or to other screen. I mean, it's going to be a really huge functionality that it's going to like rocket Mobincube. I mean, our competitors won't be able to compete with us with that feature. I promise, because you will be able to create like really custom apps with that. They will look even as if one programmer created that app that you won't be programming. So it's just cool feature. I promise. Yeah, Andrea, I really believe in the audio. I mean, even more than in the video. I mean, because with audio, you can make a lot of money with your apps. I mean, you can create apps for children. You can create like language apps. You can like tourist guides with audio guides. I mean, the audio feature is going to be also really cool. Hmm. Okay, is there any other question from you? Well, I guess not. It's only Andre and Carlos. Okay, so in case you don't have any more questions, I guess it's time to say good night for one. Well, good night for Daniel and Andrea. But it's like 3 in the morning in Spain, so they must be really tired. So for the other people that we are in the America time range, then say good evening or good afternoon. Okay, so I hope to see you in our next webinar. And thank you for coming and spending like 1 hour with us. It was a pleasure from our side. Yeah, and remember, if you have any questions, just email us and we will try to solve your questions. Okay? So yeah, see you.